Let's talk about it. I'm struggling with my faith. Here is a video that is going to portray a realistic point of view from a Christian in 2023. You know how when you go to a conference or a retreat, a weekend retreat in the summer or in the winter for 3 days, sometimes even 48 hours, and when you're there, you feel like you're growing and you end up getting a spiritual high. Have you ever been there before? If you haven't, I've been there. When you walk away and you get home from that retreat, you're at like this amazing place where you're like, I need to do better. I want to know God more. I'm so spiritually high. If you can relate to me on that, I can honestly say that right now, I'm on the other end of the spectrum, right? Because when you walk away from that retreat, when you're at that all-time spiritual high, eventually it starts fading over time, right? And I think that's kind of what happened to me, because I'm at that point right now where I'm a Christian. I am not ashamed to admit it, but I'm at that point where I feel spiritually dry. Like my cup is empty. And I just feel guilty and ashamed, right? Like, where's my passion? Because even a few years ago, I was on fire for God, to spread His word, to tell people about the good news, my faith, and etc. But now it's just like I'm almost nonchalant, right? And this is pretty embarrassing to admit, which is why I also feel so much guilt and shame. But I haven't been to church in a very long time. And I'm not saying that as like a bragging, like, yo, I haven't been to church, but more so a confession, like, man, it dawned on me I haven't been in a while. And I feel terrible about it, right? I'm absolutely not saying that you need to go to church to be a Christian, because in my own personal opinion, a church is just a setting where 2 or 3 or 4 gather together to pray, to build each other up, to hold each other accountable, to be spiritual community, fighting for the same mission and whatnot. But I'm not saying that you have to go to church to be a Christian, but I understand what it's like to not go as well. So now I'm starting to see the importance. Basically, all that to say, I'm struggling in the walk. Not in the sense where I'm questioning God or the Bible, although at times it's understandable to feel that frustration when something in 2023 doesn't align with God's vision. My faith in all of that is firm, but it's more so the passion. Right? Like, I admit, and this is really bad, but I'm not praying as much as I should be. I'm not reading the scripture as much as I should be, or engaging with other believers as much as I should be. It wasn't always like this, right? It just slowly happened over time where you missed church one Sunday because of something came up, and then eventually it turns into 2 weeks since you haven't gone. And the next thing you know, it's been years since you've gone. It just adds up gradually. It's not like one day you make a decision, I'm not going to church. But rather it's like these slow, conscious decisions that you make that turn into a commitment of like, hey, I haven't been in a while, so why go now? And it's just been so easy to live my life the way that I wanted without attending to my spiritual needs for these past few years. I'm guilty, right? I'm guilty because I have not given it the importance or the priority that it truly deserves. What I'm talking about is my spiritual health. I think mental health has the awareness and the encouragement from everybody now. Even like 30, 40, 50 years ago, mental illness was like a super stigma. But now we're at a point where we understand that these demons that we fight in our head is super important. But I think spiritual health is an aspect that we're still undervaluing and underestimating, because I have not been properly nourishing my spiritual health. And it's weird, right? Like, I'm at that point in my walk of faith where I'm such a dirtbag. I'm a terrible human being. I'm at that point where I only call out to God when I feel like I need something or when I'm in trouble, right? And even then, it's been a long time since I've done that. And it's just such a terrible habit of mine. And it's just, I don't know if that's human nature for us to only seek out God when things are going bad. What about when things are going good? Like times like right now in my life, everything is going well. I'm doing great. And I'm not saying that to boast, but I'm saying that in a sense where I've been in time periods in my life where I was seeing complete darkness and low periods where I was hopeless. But I'm in a very happy mental space. My physical health is great, and I'm just doing well all around. I'm in a really good place. And yet deep down inside in my heart, I still feel very far away from God, even though everything else is doing so well. And it's just this cognitive dissonance of like, I'm doing so healthy all around, but my spiritual health, I'm not doing too well. I don't want to make excuses, but I almost wonder, like, this pattern of my spiritual health declining all started with the pandemic. So I don't know if it's just, with all that happening and not going to large gatherings in years or fellowships intentionally, like, maybe that did a number on me, right? Because I feel like there's so much benefits and so much friendships that were fostered, and I grew, maybe not every week, but definitely every quarter or every 3 months, from engaging in small groups or leading Bible studies or preaching and etc. But I haven't been doing any of those in years. And it's just, I'm in a weird place in my life where I just miss being a part of a community of believers, to have that support system, to have those accountability buddies, or whatever you want to call it. Someone that you can rely on, that can relate to you when you talk about matters of faith or spiritual health or prayer requests. I haven't even done any of that in so long. It's just like, it feels almost foreign to me, right? And it's kind of like how when I was growing up, I started learning Spanish formally in middle school all the way up to college, and I can barely speak Spanish now. Whereas at one point I was conversational. And I think it's just one of those things where if you don't continually do something, eventually it just kind of dissipates and it just decreases and it's just reduced, minimized. And I think with spiritual health as well, it's just one of those things that you need to give proper attention to daily. I don't even know what this video is at this point. I just knew that I needed to turn on the camera and talk and upload it to YouTube. Just something was tugging at my heartstrings that I needed to do this. Maybe it's a confessional. Maybe this is like a wake-up call, like, dude, I don't know what you're doing. You might think that you can do this all on your own, but you are not enough. And you are not living in a way that honors the Father. Like, maybe this is my desire to connect with more believers. I'm disappointed in myself because I allowed my faith to be in a struggle, my spiritual health to be depleted, to be absent in the community of fellowship of believers. I allow that to happen. But all that said, I feel like I can end this video on a positive note because I still have hope. Because deep down inside, the fact that I'm even making this video is because I have a desire in me to get closer to God, right? And I genuinely want to grow in my faith rather than being stagnant or dissipating. And it's just weird to admit, right, to the public, to people that I haven't even met, but I have nothing to hide, right? It's okay to feel this way, but it's not okay to stay that way, right? There should be actionable changes coming up. And I know I'm not there yet, but the good news is that I'm self-aware enough to admit that I have room for improvement. So if anyone else is feeling like this out there, just know that you're not alone. And it's okay to go through different seasons of your faith where you feel on fire and on passion to tell everyone about the good news. And other times where it's just like, bro, my life is so busy and so many things are happening, I just feel like I'm not allocating enough time. It's a continual battle. It's not one of these things where it's a one and done. The rest of my life is going to be rainbows and puppies and a beautiful blue sky. Because life is real. And sometimes life hits you hard. And there's going to be moments where it's painful. But I think it's important that despite the good or the bad, to make time for God. So anyways, I guess I'll end the video genuinely this time with this. Let me know what you think. What is something that helps you when you feel like this? Maybe I am alone in this. Maybe no one else is like this. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe the spiritual warfare is happening and I'm losing. What's a recommendation that you can make? I'll talk to you later, YouTube, if anyone out there even watches this. And I hope you have a good rest of your day.